Come for the cocktails, stay for the camera lesson. This is Cocktail Camera. All right, well, we just made the bee's knees, which is a classic, really pretty simple springtime cocktail. It's just honey simple syrup, fresh lemon juice, and gin. I like garnishing mine with some dried lavender. I also infused my honey syrup with lavender as well. So one note on this, if you are making it at home, is to not just put straight honey in. Make sure you make a honey simple syrup, which is just equal parts honey and water. So I put those together just in a pan on the stove, heat it up just enough to get the honey to dissolve and fully incorporate with the water. Basically, we're just thinning out our honey here so it can more easily mix together in the cocktail. Because if you just put straight honey in, especially with ice, honey seizes up when cold. It's just gonna sit in the bottom of the shaker or the bottom of a glass. You don't really want that. The rest of your drink is gonna be super tart and imbalanced. So making a honey simple syrup, pretty easy and quick to do, but an important step for making a cocktail like this. I've been getting a lot of questions lately about lighting, specifically how I light my social media videos when I'm making cocktails and all of that. So I am very fortunate to have my own studio. It has these cool steel windows with, I think they're west facing. So I get some nice natural light, but almost always, especially when shooting video, I am using some sort of artificial light or mono light. No matter how good my natural lighting is, having a good, consistent video light is just super important. With video, it's really all about control and consistency. And that's why having a continuous light like this is so helpful, because if I'm relying on the sunlight, there could be a cloud going by, it could get darker or lighter, even just within a few minutes. So that could drastically change the look of your footage. Using artificial light and different modifiers like softboxes and reflectors also just give you a lot more creative control, allowing you to change the look and feel and mood of your footage simply by changing the position of your light or putting on a different kind of diffuser. The light that I use for nearly every single one of my videos, it's just off camera in nearly every shot, is the Nanlite Forza 300B. So this is always set up in my studio. I almost never take it down. I have it on a rolling C-stand here with I think this is like a 42-inch octabox. And this is what I use to light all of my social media content, my e-course videos, my YouTube videos, pretty much everything. It's all in the name, really. 300 means it's a 300-watt light. I can dim it down if I want. Also, the B stands for bicolor, so I have it at 5500 Kelvin right now to kind of match the light coming in through the windows, but I could take it down a lot warmer to 2700 if I'm shooting in a bar or just somewhere that's lit mainly by tungsten lighting, or I could take it up to 6500, which will probably show up a little cooler on the camera right now. Now I understand the Forza 300B might be a little on the expensive side, especially for those of us who are just starting out with producing video content, but Nanlite, which is truly my preferred brand when it comes to video lighting. They have a pretty big range of products to choose from. They definitely have the pro level stuff that is more expensive, but they also have a few lights that are really good, that are more entry level, a lot more affordable, but you still get a lot of bang for your buck. I'll start with the smallest, which is also a light that I use a ton, second only to the Forza 300B. This is a Nanlite Pavo tube. This is like their 12-inch version. I have a 24-inch and then one that's basically a lightsaber. It's an LED light tube, fully dimmable, also bicolor, or has the full range of 2700 Kelvin up to I think 6500. You can change it to nearly any color you can think of, dimmable. It also has threads on either side, so I attach like these little tripods so I can place them on the bar top. Having a light tube like this is really helpful when lighting small subjects, especially like cocktails and bottles, because you get a nice linear highlight, and it's just something that is super small, compact, easy to throw into a camera bag, and pretty much always have on you. On the smaller, more affordable end of things, we have the Nanlite FS60B. So the first light I showed you that I'm using to light this video is a 300 watt monolight. This is a 60 watt, so a fraction of the power of the light output, but still packs a punch. I also really like that it's really nice and small, compact design, a lot easier to carry with you if you're shooting on location, and honestly just a great light for starting out with video content creation with. One slight downside is that it doesn't have a Bowens mount. So most Nanlites, a lot of monolights and strobes that you can get on the market have Bowens mounts, which are for attaching softboxes, octaboxes, all those different modifiers. So this just has a smaller mount, and you can get an adapter that clicks on here that allows you to use Bowens mount modifiers. So that's one downside, but honestly, not a huge deal in the scheme of things. Then we have something that's really just like a step up from the FS60B, but in my opinion, you get a lot more. It's the FS150B. So it's a little bit bigger, but we're talking more than twice the power, 150 watts of output versus 60. Similar design, again, a slightly larger, bigger fan to accommodate the higher wattage, higher light output. It does have a Bowens mount, so most reflectors and softboxes are gonna fit this one. You're not gonna have to worry about getting an adapter. Now, I still recommend the FS60B, especially if you're just starting out and you're on a really tight budget and you just wanna get started producing video. Go for it. But overall, I recommend the FS150B simply because it's at a fairly accessible price point, great build quality, and 150 watts of power is just gonna take you a lot farther. You're gonna be able to use it for a long time versus a 60 watt light. You might get to a point where you're like, it's not quite bright enough. You need a little more oomph. Now, obviously, like I said earlier, I'm mainly using a 300 watt light when I'm working here in the studio. But honestly, when I'm doing a lot of client projects or shooting on location, carrying multiple lights around, I'm usually bringing monolights that are in the 150 or 200 watt range. So great place to start, and that power level will take you a long ways and you can use it for a long time. Hope this was helpful to you. Be sure to check out cocktailcamera.com for more free resources and e-courses around cocktail photography and videography. Also, the social media platform I'm probably most active on right now is Instagram. So hit me up at Cocktail Camera, slide into my DMs if you have any questions about lighting or what Nanlite model number you should be looking into. I'm always happy to help whenever I can.